Good morning. Today is Thursday, February 22nd, and we're here today to discuss creating notifications in Dash. Thank you very much for joining us today. So the notifications, what they are for is when you happen to have certain HR information that you want to maintain, right? You want to know for your employees that certain certificates are required, licenses, or even something like sexual harassment trainings or other kind of trainings that have to be done on, say, an annual basis. You can actually set up notifications in the system so that it will notify you by just going to the notifications and clicking on it and going through that. Now, the first thing you want to do is set up the notifications. And that you do by going into Company and then going to the Human Resources Setup. And so here you can do all sorts of things. Like right here, we have the licensing and training. Those are the ones that I've set up for us today. We already had in these ones like CPR certified, employee contract, anti-harassment course completion. Those are all under the certification. We also have where there's licenses and then skills and events and training categories and so forth. And we have other items in here as well. For instance, there's performance reviews and warnings. So you can keep track of warnings and have everything in here in the system. And you can also add in documents, right? Like if they sign a document, you can take that, scan a PDF of it, and save it in the section here. So that's very useful. You'll have everything here on hand. Then we also have these status filters, miscellaneous, so we can keep track of different items in here. Then there's also, we go into the onboarding, the application, and performance management, all sorts of tools that we have in here. But this right here, licensing and training, I did add a license in here for consulting detective because the fake employee that I use for these trainings is Sherlock Holmes, and of course that was what he was famous for. There's also one for malpractice, and you would just basically click on add, and then you can set up the code and then this description, and that sets up the license type for you to use when you get to the employee. So let's just go ahead and cancel here. So we have our examples, and so once we have them, we can click on employee and find our employee in question. So as I said, I use Sherlock Holmes. I was a big fan of the Benedict Cumberbatch version that was a few years back. And so I search for him, and he's right here. And then I go into the HR section for him. So clicking on HR up here at the top takes us to the section for HR for the employee. You can select which employee that you want to use it for. So we've got the performance reviews here. And again, this is where if you added a performance review, then you can actually click on documents to upload documents. It's grayed out right now. Then I went, but what I did here was I went to the licensing and training, and I added the anti-harassment course. And when you add, so I'm going to click on add right here, you can select the course, right? Let's say he's CPR certified, and then you can set what the beginning date is when it starts. So I just, let's say he got his certification there in February, say 16, and then it expires February the 16th of this year, right? So you can put that in here. You can also put in things like the employee paid or the company paid. You can put in a certificate number or certification, and then you hit save. And once you hit save, then you can click on documents and add a copy of the certification. So everything is here, right? So that's what you put in. And I also have under licenses right here, under the licensing training, I have consulting detective and malpractice. It's even telling us there's outstanding notification related to an item. And that's because one of these is about to expire, right? So Sherlock Holmes has a license expiring on the 29th. There's also the malpractice one is going to be expiring on the 27th, but it's not exactly sure why. But you can always just click dismiss here, and it would dismiss it also in the notifications on your notification page. Now, once we have this set up, right, we add everything, put in the documents. What's the next step? Well, if we go to home and then we click on notifications, right, then we have here the notifications, right? This is where we can, we have showing the employee Sherlock Holmes has a license expiring, right? But why don't we have other things in here? Why don't we have things like birthday? Because you have to actually manage the notifications. Maybe you only have certain ones you want to see. So you manage them by clicking on, manage notifications right here. This, and you click on it, and it shows you existing subscriptions, and we have none. I put them back to none just so I can show how you add them. So I'm going to click on add new subscriptions. And so you would add things, let's say employee birthday, you click on that. And then we see, let's see here, license expiration. And what else did we need here? What was it? Certification expiration. Okay, so I hit OK. And then now that added the employee Sherlock Holmes as an expiring certification. The other two were here simply because I did add the licensing at one point, and then I removed it, but I didn't remove these items here. And so if you wanted to dismiss them here, you would just click on the little bell, you could dismiss them. Or you can look at the details by clicking on the details over here on the right-hand side. And then you can see dismissed false, and you see it as created. So you have all that there. So close it. Oh, it doesn't look like it can close. And then you can see the employee. If you click on that, they'll no doubt take you to the employee. So if I click on it, and it does take me to the employee, and it does take me here, where I can update the notification or the licensing. I can change the expiration date if I receive something new. I can add the new certification here, things like that. I'm going to go back to home. I'm going to go back to my notifications. There's one more item that I wanted to see. So we clicked on Manage Notifications to add these items. But once we do that, then you'll see them under existing subscriptions, right? And so you have them here. And if you clicked on the black X, it would remove them. But if you click on the little pencil, you can edit it to change how many days it notifies you. Do you want it to notify you 14 days in advance or what? You can also have it email a notification to you. So, and this is specific to the user. So whoever marks this, whatever user marks this, it will send it to them. And you can have more than one user have email notifications. You can also have it where it automatically dismisses after a certain number of days. Okay? And then you hit save for any kind of changes. And it says subscriptions are processed automatically by the system. If you elect to receive notifications via email, you'll receive one email including all your notifications. Once a notification is dismissed or has reached its due date, the notification will stop being included in the email. So once it's due, it'll stop. Or once it's been dismissed, it'll stop. Okay, so we click on OK. And that basically is how you would set it up. And I do see when you upload a document, it requires a code. What do you suggest? Okay, let me go back to that. So I'm going to go back to the employee, and we see under documents. So we click on just add document, and then you can enter whatever code you want. It can be an internal system that you use for tracking these things, or it could just be a description. You could put in notes, and then when you click on this right here, that's where you get to load it. So you click on this to actually load the document from your computer. And it even tells you what the valid formats are. So PDF is preferred, but you may have it in a form like a JPEG, right? Either one of these two. Maybe even the TIFF format, I've seen those. So all sorts. And the maximum upload size is 15,000 kilobytes. I think that's 15 meg. I'm not exactly sure. Don't know the metric system too well. But in here, yes, you can create the code, whatever code you want it to be, and put your own notes, and then just do the upload. That's all you need to do. So as far as suggestions, I would say just whatever that you would like it to be. You could give it a brief description like certificate copy, something like that. It doesn't doesn't interfere with the actual uploading itself. It's more of a descriptive. So I'll just hit cancel.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you found the information useful, and we are very, very pleased and thankful that you are part of our PayrollCentric family. Goodbye for now.